where your income comes from bringing people into the business. That is a pyramid scheme. When there's a product or a service that is exchanged where you can make the money, that is not a pyramid scheme.
Hello and welcome to MLM for CEOs. Today I have the great pleasure of talking to Marisol Nobles. She is a mentor, a coach, a trainer, a teacher, and she has a company that helps MLM companies and direct selling companies to really ramp up their networks, to teach them how to exceed in all areas of this business. She has experience in both the corporate side and the networking side. She's been in the field, she's built big teams, and she has a real insight into how this business works. So I'm really pleased to welcome her to the podcast. Hi, Marisol. Thank you so much for joining me. It's so exciting to have you on board. This has been a long time coming. I think we've been talking to each other for months. And finally, we get to talk to each other. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Richard. I'm really excited to be part of your podcast because I love direct sales. So I'm really excited to be with you finally. And, we'll just go from here.
Yes, excellent. Well, I'd like to just kick off by getting a bit of background. How did you get into the MLM space? How long have you been in it? What is your sort of history? How's your journey looked?
Actually, I've been in direct sales for over 24 years. I started back when I was in college as a way to make some extra money. And ever since I love it, I love the fact that you can adjust your hours and you have the flexibility and the freedom of it. And then I stopped. I went to get a regular job and I was there for a couple of years. I got married, and because my husband used to work for airlines, he used to relocate. So I went back into direct sales because every time we relocate, that was the only business that can come with me wherever we went. And I was in direct sales on the field side for about 14 years. And then it came to a point in my life where they saw that I love helping everybody. It didn't matter if they were mine or not. And they offered me a position in the corporate side. So I did transfer to the corporate side. And I was on the corporate side for about 8 years. And then now I'm back to direct sales again. And I love it because I decided to start my own company. And now I do coaching for direct sales.
Oh, fantastic. So how long have you been doing the coaching stuff?
Well, the coaching, I've been doing it since February. So it's still a young company, but I'm all registered. I'm all, like I said, I'm all legal, and I love it because my passion has been training. My passion is helping people grow. And now that I have the experience on both sides, the field side and the corporate side, I saw the need of the representatives or consultants of however each company calls them, what they need to have somebody to guide them through the process of direct sales.
Yes, and that is actually quite unique because I know from our side, we've got many consultants who come at this from the corporate side. They've been in the corporate environment and now they become a consultant and they go out and they do consulting work. And we've also got people who've been in the field and come at it from a field side and do consulting work. But there's very few people who have actually been on both sides of that fence who can give you a completely balanced view of what needs to happen to get the field motivated. So that's quite rare.
Yes, it is actually. Whenever I'm doing my coachings and they tell me something and I see that it's not a good idea, I always tell them, been there, done that, earn the badge. You don't want to go that way. If I can save
Well,
them some of the years of experience that I have, of course I'm going to do it.
and that's obviously why you get a consultant in, because it's much easier to learn somebody else's lessons than to learn your own lessons. They say that experience is the most expensive teacher on the planet. Getting I want to get my own experience, but that is crazy. Peter Drucker says that you must learn from other people's mistakes, not from your own mistakes. So, I mean, that's where somebody like you comes in, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And actually, I remember something my dad used to tell me all the time. He said, you need to learn from people's experience. You're not going to tell me that you're going to get to the top of the building and jump and you're going to be Superman and you're going to land. No, you're going to smash and crash just like everybody else. So that will save you some time and pain.
Exactly. So now, if we were to get you involved, let's say I was a company and I said to you, "Hey, listen, come in and help me with our sales team." What kind of processes would you put in place? How would you go about helping my sales team?
Well, the first thing that I will do is we'll check with you to see where is that you feel that you have the need to grow, because based on the KPIs, it can be different areas. Maybe it might be sales, maybe it might be recruiting, maybe it might be retention. And then after that, I will immerse myself on the field side, because it's not the same what the company thinks that what the field is perceiving. And then sometimes there's miscommunication. They're speaking different languages, and I can see which way both are receiving that information, and that way I can help the company better grow.
I see. Now, do you prepare training for the company? So if I was a company and I actually needed like a complete training regime, which I could then train the trainers to do that work, is that something you would prepare?
Absolutely. I've done that. I was hired by a company. The person was from Mexico City. It's a company that is international. And actually, she asked me to do a specific training for the team. And that's exactly what I did. So it's based on what you need. That's how I prepared. And because I have the experience in direct sales on both sides, it's easier because I cover what the company needs by making sure that the field does what is needed to grow. I always
Yeah,
said if
and
you take
also,
care I'm sorry, I always said that if you take
no,
care of your people, you will grow.
there's an old saying: if you want to grow your business, you need to grow your people. Isn't that's how it
Ye-
goes, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And actually, in direct sales, something really funny happens, because I said direct sales is a completely different company. I mean, it doesn't fit anywhere. It's like it's completely little universe. And sometimes the people that wants to grow, they don't feel like they have the support. And through the years, I have learned that you usually give the support to the same people, which are the top leaders, the top sales, but you still have those diamonds that are buried in there. So I love finding diamonds and polish them and bringing them up to light. That's something that I love. Actually, the logo for my company is a butterfly, because I believe that it's a transformation, and I've seen the transformation many times in different companies. And it's funny that you said all that, because my mission for my company is to change 1 million lives.
Oh wow, that's an amazing mission. Good grief.
Yes, it is.
So now I just want to talk about from the corporate side, because what I've discovered over the years is that very often the directors, the CEOs of the companies, are not on top of what happens in the field. Most of them have never been out there. They've never recruited a single person in their lives. They've never been rejected. They've never had the problems and the pressures that the field has. How do you go about educating the C-suite, the CEO and the COO and all of those people? How do you go about educating them to understand just how difficult it is for the field in out there? You know, the problems that they're faced with every day.
Actually, I'm a hands-on person. I always said I don't say do it, I say let's do it. So one of the first things will be getting them into the field, so they can actually see the process that the person in the field are facing every day. It's hard, and I see both sides. I can understand both sides. I mean, the CEO, the vice president of marketing, sales, they have KPIs that they have to hit. So they have to bring them one way or the other. But the only way to do it is understanding what the field is facing. What is the support that they think or they believe or what they need, whatever it's a belief, whatever is real. And the only way to do it is by immersing in that world. So one of the things that I will suggest is that you have to go and get hands-on, get on the field, try to do what they want to do. I'm really big in training, like I told you when we spoke before. You have to learn the other side. I always like to talk about a sign that I created that has a 9. And then I said, what number do you see? And you said 9. So if I turn it to me, I see a 6. And I said, who's right? We are both right. What is changing is the perspective. And and having the perspective from the side that you want to grow is going to allow you to grow, because you still hit your KPIs while your field is happy. And if you keep the field supported and engaged, then your company is going to grow.
And that's obviously that is the secret, because I've been in meetings with CEOs, and the CEOs or the sales directors or whatever, very often they will say to me something like, "We're not interested in activity, we're only interested in results." And they'll say other things like, "These guys are just lazy." And I think it's very often because they just have no clue of how difficult it is out there.
Exactly. And in order to get results, there has to be an activity behind it. Like I've seen companies that said, "Okay, we're gonna do a challenge this month. We're gonna grow. Each person has to bring two, three, four new consultants, representatives," and they said it's easy. You just go talk to, and four they will tell you yes. And and then you have to go to the law that of probability. How many no's is gonna take you to get a yes? So it's not that easy. And what I do is, since people is usually afraid of rejection, and that's what stops them, I said, don't count the yeses, count the nos. So your goal is going to be have 15 nos today. So they are focusing in the nos. And when somebody says no, it's like, good, I have one more no on the book. And it's to see to one time when I was working on one of the regions that I was assigned, I created like an Olympics for the region. I mean, it's something fun. One of the things with direct sales is that we forgot to have fun.
Yeah,
Everything is like such a chore. We have to do this, we have to do that. But the reason why we're doing it is because we have fun. It's something that can help our families, can help me as a person. I can grow. So, yes, activities bring results, but the correct activities are the ones that bring the correct results.
yeah. Count the no's because the yeses will come by themselves.
That's correct.
100%. And so, I mean, that's one of the things that I love about this industry is that a person can come on board and can, with very limited skill, can actually go out there and generate themselves a really good income. The things that worry me, and I'm just wondering how you deal with it. One of the objections I get on a regular basis is this is a pyramid scheme or this is a Ponzi scheme, something like that. How do you deal with something like that?
I explain to them that everybody's a pyramid. When you work for any company, you have the CEO, the VPs, the directors, the managers, and then you have all the rest of the employees. That is a pyramid, okay? And you're working for that pyramid and you're getting paid for it. The difference between direct sales and and a pyramid scheme is where there's no product being offered, where your income comes from bringing people into the business. That is a pyramid scheme. When there's a product or a service that is exchanged, where you can make the money, that is not a pyramid scheme.
I'm with you. So, and that is obviously a core one because a lot of people they throw that out there. Oh, this is a pyramid scheme, and they just throw it out there. One of the people I interviewed a couple of weeks ago asked them the same question, and they said to me what they do is they say, "Look, pyramid schemes are illegal, and I would never ever be involved in anything illegal." And they just blow past it like that. They don't explain it. They don't get into detail. It's just, look, that is illegal. I would never be involved in a pyramid scheme, and they move on. And they say that they find that that actually, instead of creating a conversation around whether it's a pyramid or not, they find that that actually just releases the pressure, and the person is beyond that pyramid concept very quickly. So, can I ask you, whereabouts are you mostly focused? In what area, what region do you work? Is it mostly in Mexico, or where do you work?
Actually, I'm based in the US and I work
Okay.
all the US. I have clients from all the US and I have a couple of clients from Mexico. But thanks to the internet and the social media and all the new revolution of due to the pandemic, I can help people anywhere in the world. I
And
mean,
you
that's the
speak,
magic. Hmm.
yeah, isn't that right? And you speak Spanish and you speak English.
That's correct.
Anything else? Any other languages?
I studied French many years ago. I didn't follow through, but yes, but 100% Spanish and English.
Okay, so I mean, so there's a large portion of the world. If you look at South America, there's a large portion of South America where they talk Spanish, and of course, there's Spain, Europe. So there's a lot of people that you could help them in their own language, and then of course English.
Hmm.
You know, a large portion of the world speaks English as well. So there's a lot of areas that you can actually get involved in. Now, in terms of compliance, when you're teaching a network, obviously there's all sorts of rules of what you may do and what you may not do, and you're allowed to not allowed to make financial claims and all of this. How up to date are you on all of the compliance laws?
I do keep myself up to date. I'm always researching it. I said that's when, like when you're a doctor, you can say, okay, I graduated, no more illnesses, no more prescriptions. The same for me. The direct selling is always evolving, always growing, so I had to keep up with the trends. So I always keep up myself with everything based on compliance. And like people said, oh, it's because everybody's doing it. I said, yeah, but that doesn't make it right. You want to be one of the few that is doing the right thing for the right reasons instead of doing
Yeah.
what everybody else is doing.
And if they catch you doing something wrong, apparently now I was speaking to Donna Marie, who's a compliance specialist a little while ago. She's out in, I think she's in Nevada somewhere. But I was speaking to her, and she was saying to me that at the moment, for every violation, you get a $35,000 fine. So if you've got, let's say you make 10 claims, that would be $350,000 fine just there. Even if they're minor claims, it doesn't matter. They come into your office, and she was telling me that what they do is they send somebody to sign up with your business. And that person then works in your business for a few months,
Hmm.
finds out everything you're doing illegal, and then they make a list of them, and it's $35,000 um, per compliance error. So
And
it's something that, yeah,
yeah,
sorry.
it is something that you have to really watch for because, like she said, it's not per person, it's per incident. And it's not only in your business, it's also in social media. So if you did it in social media and they catch you doing it three, four times, it's per incident that you get the fine.
Crazy, hey?
It is crazy, but people still do it because they said everybody's doing it. And what
Yo,
they don't
what a
understand is
risk.
that once they get caught up into it, they're not going to be happy about it.
Exactly. And they come in and they shut you down, and you're fighting a losing battle from that moment on, because once they've got their hooks into you, there's no getting out of it. You
Exactly.
know?
We
Yeah.
have a big issue here in the US with they do like bingos and raffles and all that. And that it's really that's a big one for us because that's regulated because it's considered gambling. And for gambling, you need a special license. And if you don't have it, then you'll get in trouble.
You see. And so this is one of the reasons why it's so important to have a consultant come into your business and help you with your business. And I would say, especially if you're a new startup, there's a lot of companies who are having a nightmare with the retail market. They're going into the big retail stores. They're discovering that it's an absolute pain to deal with the retailers. They're having a look at direct selling as a way to get to market, as a route to market. And then they try and do it themselves because they think, how difficult can it be? But the reality is it's quite a complex business, and people like yourself are just critically important in the whole scheme, the greater scheme of things.
And let me tell you, I'm working with a lady right now that she started her own business and she's been doing it for 20 years now. Of course, she's tired and she wants to retire. So she decided to just post on Facebook saying, hey, do you want to make extra money? Come and sell the stuff that I do. And to her surprise, she had about 8 to 10 people that said, yes, I love the stuff that you do. It's different, it's unique. I want to be one of your distributors. So she was going crazy and she said, Marisol, I don't know what to do because, I don't want to do this for the next 20 years. I just want to retire and have fun. And then I explained to her about direct sales and she thought that was a great idea. So now I'm helping her and her new distributors to set up the direct sales part of the business because I said, what you have, the knowledge of your product, that's what is needed for the people that is helping you distribute it. And but the people that is helping her distribute, they don't have experience in sales. So I'm working with her to help her to do transition so it can be easier for her to just share her knowledge and have somebody else doing the shipping or anything that is needed, and then train all her distributors. So that is really, I'm loving it, because it's, how many times do you have the opportunity to start with a company from the start?
Exactly. And then make sure they're doing everything right from day one.
Exactly.
Because once you get into the bad habits, it's very difficult to break the habits of the network, don't you find?
Yes, it is. And that's what they said. When you bring new people, teach them the way they have to do it. Don't let them just be, because they're going to get sucked into the habits. And you need the people to start moving it to the right direction.
Exactly. Can I ask you something? You know, they say leaders are readers. What are your top two books that you would recommend to a CEO or a company director to read about the multi level marketing industry?
Well, actually, I have, it's funny that you said that. Part of what I offer when I'm coaching, we get together on Mondays for a reading club. And
Oh,
we,
nice.
yes, and we always choose one book for personal development, one book for business, and one book for finances, because I see direct sales as three parts. One is personal, one is finances, one is your business. It's like a tricycle. If one of the wheels is missing, there's no way it's going to go anywhere. So I can help you grow your business if you're going through a traumatic experience personally right now. So the first book that I will recommend, and I love it, is The Four Agreements. I don't know if
Okay,
you've
tell
heard
me
about
about
the
that
book.
book. No, I haven't heard about it, but I want to read it now.
Actually, there's a second book that is called The Fifth Agreement. The fourth agreement is to tell you, the first agreement is that you have to be impeccable with your words. I've been studying something that is called neurolinguistic programming, that not only works with you, but it also works with your subconscious. Because a lot of times we are on autopilot. And when we are on autopilot, I don't know, Richard, when you're driving and you get home, sometimes you think, how did I get home? Okay. It's like, I don't remember if the last light was red or green, or I just know that I got home. Well, that's your subconscious taking over. Hmm.
Of course, yeah.
So we, in neurolinguistic programming, it's the programming of your subconscious and the program of everything that you're telling yourself that is going to help you grow. We believe we have limited beliefs. I always said there's stories that you sell to yourself and you buy them. And when you said, oh my God, this happened again, that's the one. And that book helps you, saying that everything you say, even if you're telling yourself that, you have to really watch what you're talking, because you can build or destroy. And some of that programming, we had it since we were little kids. Those were things that our parents built on us, and then are the ones that we take along the way. So that book is, it's incredible. The first one is Be Impeccable with Your Words. The second one is Don't Take It Personally. And that's a big one for direct sales. Okay. When somebody tells you no, it's not no to you, it's no to the opportunity. And sometimes people says no, not because they don't want to, but because they don't have enough information to make a decision. And then I explain to them that we are all start our day with a trash can. It's like a mental trash can. Every time something happens to you, something bad, you hit your toe when you get out of the bed, you put a little trash on the trash can, okay? And what happens when the trash can gets full? You have to empty the trash can. So sometimes it's not that you did something, it's that you were the person that received somebody else's trash can. They just kind of like had to be dumped on you. Mhm. So don't take it personally. It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with the other person. And then the other one is, oh my God, I just went blank. Don't take it personally. Be impeccable with your words. Um, I can't remember the other two. I'm going to have to check them. But that is
Okay,
an
no.
amazing book.
Okay, and then you said there were two other books, one on financing and one on personal growth, I think you said.
Yes. Um, the one for financial, we just finished the GoPro. I like that book. I love it. I like him. And what I like is a workbook where it tells you what are the abilities that you need to have in order to grow your network marketing. And it tells you from the beginning, that is, this is how you get clients, this is how you grow your client base. This is how you present to them the opportunity, be it products or the opportunity to start the business. This is how you follow up. I mean, that book tells you through every single step. I think that should be a must for direct sales.
I mean, that guy has created the ultimate close that I've ever heard. Because you say to the person, how much do you need to earn to make this worth your while? And the
Hmm.
person says, whatever number. And how many days a week are you prepared to give me to make that happen? And for how many months are you prepared to do that? And then his close is, so if I can give you $1,000 a month, working 2 days a week for the next 6 months, you'd be in, right? Yes, I would. Fantastic. Sign him up. So the closes, I mean, he gives you a real practical blow by blow
Hmm.
of how to do this business. And if you just follow his formula, chances are you're going to succeed. I think that is probably the best network marketing book I've ever read. That GoPro, I think it's
Yes,
incredible.
yes, he is. And it's funny because when I talk to people, I said one of the things that happens is when somebody joins your business and they said, how much do I need to sell? You tell them whatever the goal is for the company. And I said, that's the wrong answer. When somebody says, how much do I need to sell? Your answer automatically should be, how much do you need to make? If I don't help you make what you need, you're not going to take my business seriously because it's not going to be generating what you really need. And when I tell you an amount, I already put you on that limit, and then you're not going to be going over it because that's what your goal is.
100%. 100%. There's no doubt about it. Okay, there's the third book you mentioned. I want to hear which one is that. So,
Well, that one, it's in Spanish, is called El Pequeño Cerdito Capitalista. That is like the little I don't know how we'll translate, like the little pig and the ways how you make money. And it's like a book. You know how they have the books that is like software for dummies and all that? That's about the same, but it's for finances.
I
So
see.
it's and it tells you like you were a little kid, it tells you step by step, and this is how much you need to put aside, this is what you have to focus on. Because I have noticed that in direct sales, because you're your own boss, sometimes what you're lacking it's the financial how to control your finances, how to see what you're going to save to reinvest, and how you're going to pay yourself, because you're in for the money, of course, among other things. So you need to learn to budget yourself so you can grow.
yeah, exactly. I couldn't agree with you more. And I think it's something that is neglected quite a bit. People focus on making money, that they don't focus on taking care of their money. So they get the money in and then they don't know how to deal with what's coming in. And another example is that I've seen in networks, the person goes out and sells product. They get their profit because they buy it at a discount, sell it at a profit. They put the money into their wallet. They don't track it. At the end of the month, they maybe got $1,000 through their wallet, but it just went out on bread and food and milk and whatever. And at
Mm-hmm.
the end of the month, they don't know how much they actually earned out of the business. And
Mm-hmm.
so then they think, wow, I worked really hard and I didn't get any money, because they're not feeding it and they're not tracking it. So I think that's a very valuable piece of information, that is to have a mechanism to learn how to track that money so that you know exactly what you've earned in the business. So now, Marisol, tell me, how do people
And
get hold of you?
sometimes they don't
Sorry, yeah.
even realize how much they earn.
Well, that's the point. That is exactly the point. And then they think they're not earning a lot because they don't actually have any clue. So, how do people get hold of you? If they want to get hold of you to come and do some work with their network or to work with their team, how do they get hold of you?
Well, they can get a hold of me through my email, through my Facebook, if they want to call me, or WhatsApp or LinkedIn. I receive requests from different different ways through social media. Um,
Okay, so what is your email address? Let me hear.
okay, it's Marisol Nobles at growyourbetterself.com.
Well, that's a wonderful. Is that the name of your company, Grow Your Better Self?
The company, the legal name is Marisol Nobles Coaching LLC, but I also have Grow Your Better Self, and because I know that we can grow our better selves.
And if they look for you on LinkedIn, they just look under
Under
Marisol
Marisol Nobles,
and they'll
and,
find you there.
and they'll find me there. And on Facebook, I'm as a Marisol Nobles Coach.
Fantastic. And then your website, what is the address?
My website is in the making because
Okay.
my company is so new that we are about a month from launching the website. I'm really excited.
Okay, fantastic. So no website at the moment, but that's coming. And what will your URL be when it gets there? Will you have a URL?
Yes, I
What I mean,
will.
you've got a URL already. You obviously will have one,
Yes,
but you've
I
got one
have
already.
actually. I purchased three of them. The one is Marisol Nobles Coaching. The second one is Grow Your Better Self, and the third one is mncoaching.com.
All of them .coms.
All of them .coms.
And I'm going to ask you, would you be happy to give out your telephone number here?
Of course. My phone number is 678-788-0660 here in the US. And
Okay,
you
give us
can
that number again.
678-788-0660.
Now, I'm going to put all of these links at the bottom of the YouTube channel, so that will be in there. But obviously, there's a lot of people who are listening to this in our podcasts on Spotify, so they'll be able to hear it and write it down when they get there. Marisol, listen, thank you so much for joining me. It's been
Thank
an
you.
absolute pleasure talking to you. I wish you the very, very best, and I hope that your business absolutely explodes on you, and I hope you get a lot of business out of this podcast. Thank you for
Thank you,
spending the
Richard.
time with me.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you for inviting
Excellent.
me. It was a pleasure.
Go well. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope you found this session informative. But before you leave, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and follow us on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Spotify. And remember, never leave the good stuff till later.